As always, I've come armed to the teeth with information, and I did not hesitate when it came to pulling the trigger. Let's get it.
Yeah, I'm so fresh like the morning. Mouth wide open like they yawning. Every time they see me, they in G-Shock. Homie, this is too far. Homie, I feel too alive. You can see me like Illuminati. You can see me like Illuminati. But I'm trying to...
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to The Closing Line. My name is Troy Torrence, and I host this show every day, every Tuesday and Thursday, each week to remind you really of two things. I start my show off every time with these two facts that I believe are facts. Now, it's a little bit subjective, but the first thing is the books are not your enemy. They're your roadmap. Use the information they give you to your advantage. There is no data points more valuable than the line itself. And then you got to limit psychological damage. I talk about this every week. It's the most important thing for me and to my bottom line, to my ROI. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. The bookies will ban you just for if they know you have a 1% edge. Tread lightly. Take care of your psyche. Take care of your mental state, and you'll be just fine. Stay disciplined, man. And the only way to be truly confident in any subject is to really encounter complexity, the complexity enough to make you humble. You know, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. We should always be on our grind to get incrementally better, and the small incremental gains compound, man, until you become a juggernaut. So let's start doing that. Let's win today. Very important. Tuesday is my most profitable day by far, and it's because I have so much time to allocate to capping this slate from last night to this morning throughout the day. It's a beautiful thing. And if last week's show, we had a small show on Tuesday, the shortest show of the year so far, only 2 games on the board. We lost 0.15 units. I have a graphic, just a reminder of what we had moved on. It was the Cardinals game that we had the first 3 under and the first 5 under. We won the full unit on the first 3, lost the half unit on the first 5. We had the Cardinals money line. They ended up blowing a lead. They lost. The Tigers fit the cash cow profile. And this is pretty consistent throughout recent history. Cash cows have been struggling, but we have one on the card tonight. Now, the team total unders both cashed, which definitely helped us and really limited a lot of the losses. So far in July, we're down 3.11 units. But, of course, we dominated June. We were up plus 24 units, plus 19 units in April, pretty much a break-even May. I mean, we're pushing 35 units on this show cumulative. It's been a beautiful thing, a blessing, because it's been a struggle of a season. I cannot win totals. I cannot win on Dodgers games or Yankees games. Everywhere else, it's been absolutely dominant. So this will be the first show you don't hear any totals on my card, any totals in my action at all. And it's because I had to kind of let it go. You know, I have 11,000 games in my sample. You know, in the MLB, it's definitely the biggest part of that 11,000 bets that I have logged. I have not been profitable. This season, I'm down 40 units betting totals. It's time to let it go. And also the total market, we talked about this on Thursday. We had a little bit extra time. And I talked about how this is the first year where we're seeing over 40% of totals moving towards the over. Historically, the 3 seasons prior to that, it's about 25%. So there's been a huge structural change to the total markets, and to the extent where I'm just getting my ass kicked. I can't read the markets correctly when it comes to totals, so I'm just going to let it go. We're going to focus on sides and hammer away. With that said, we're about to dive in. Let me holler at everybody in the chat. Koopa Bets, as always great to see you in chat. Thank you always for coming out and supporting me. J Mac, man, when I come back out to Pittsburgh this season, I catch a Steelers game. I better catch you at that Rivers, bro. Better. Tasha, greetings. Greetings, everybody. Greetings. Thank you for stopping by, Jermaine. Mr. Glover, what's good, chat? Let's have a Tuesday. So Tuesdays are so important, so vital to my success. Yo, Derek, you're not D-Trip. Are you D-Trip, Derek? No, I don't think so. Let's go, man. Cut the deficit back in half. It's time to get it, man. I was locked in all day on this slate. I really like my action. And let's start it off with the Pirates and the D-backs. We actually lost a game with the Mets, game being postponed. So it'll give us a little bit extra time. Okay, let's talk Pirates and D-backs. Looking at the cash flow, 53% of bets, 39% of cash on Pittsburgh. This line opened minus 115. I mean, it's relatively stagnant. This is a filter I would immediately put on. The line move less than 10 cents to really see what happens when these lines don't move very often. And in this range between minus 100, between minus 100 to minus 120, this is where you see a lot of times very little line movement when you see opening in that range, because it's just very nuanced, right? Every point you move it, every 5 cents you move it, is such a drastic change to the implied odds that you could tell that the bookies are very cognizant of when they're moving these lines in this range. This total opened at 9 and it's stagnant. I mean, it's juiced to the over. It hasn't really moved. When you look at the history of this market, I talk about a very similar market all the time, all the time. You know, this less than 10-cent move in this short home favorite, short home dog price range, the home teams clean up. The same thing applies to this game. You also see some trends to the under, but the most compelling thing to me was looking at the Pirates and the D-backs, who are a frequent flyer in this type of market. Especially, I'm just going to look at this season, but this definitely extends back to 2023. The Pirates this season are 3-1 straight up in this sample. So in this 80-game sample that I'm looking at, where the home team's 47 and 30, right, 61% straight up, the Pirates occupy 5 games in that sample. They're 4-1 straight up. They're 5-0 to the under. The D-backs, they only have 2 games in the sample. They're 1-1 straight up. They're 2-0 to the under. And the more we narrow this range, the more confidence I get in the market being favorable for the Pirates. I don't know, from the optics standpoint, it's kind of hard with these two teams because they're very similar caliber teams, right? And I feel like you look at the pitching matchup with Fott Chandler, very, very, I would say, I don't want to say break even because I made a bet in this game. I moved on the Pirates in the first 5, and it's because mostly I believe in Bubba Chandler. He's got a 139 whip. He's got a 398 xERA. So he's expected favorable regression. But that 398 xERA was above 5 earlier in the season. We've consistently seen that come back, and we've seen a complete change in the direction that he's heading. I mean, he's definitely heading in the right direction. And I mean, just from every single number down that I could go down every single metric on this Savant page, and you could tell that you can't tell. I can go back to the first handicap I did on Bubba Chandler 3 weeks into the season, and you can see that these numbers have completely flipped, headed in the right direction. And the issue is always going to be the command with this guy. His stuff is great. The 4-seam has an expected batting average of 217. The slider, an expected batting average of 197. He just struggles to throw it for strikes sometimes. That's the problem. But I look at Arizona. This is a team versus right-handed pitching that I want to fade. They're 27th since June 1st. They're 20th since July 1st. I look at Fott. I know Fott has been good. He's trending in the right direction as well. 2 pitchers trending in the right direction. And I do have a little bit of a question of the quality of competition over the stretch. He had St. Louis twice. St. Louis is one of the worst lineups in baseball against right-handed pitching. San Diego Padres, that was before San Diego got hot over this past month. And the Dodgers, and if you go back to the Dodgers, when he pitched against them, that was when they were in the biggest slump they've been in all season. And when you struggle to get the swing and miss like Fott does, he doesn't have the big swing and miss, the big chase stuff. You better have an ace in a hole. And he does have an ace in a hole. And that is being able to generate ground balls. And he generates them at a top 20 percentile. He doesn't give out free passes. So there's some favorable things that Fott does. But I do think Bubba Chandler has the upper hand here at home. I moved on the Pirates first 5, money line minus 115. I kind of wish they had lost yesterday in extra innings because I do think the Padres have value at home off a loss. It gives me a little bit more to lean into. But I do think this line remaining stagnant is my confirmation. I did consider adding to this position, but I just want Bubba Chandler in the first 5, money line minus 115. I have 1 unit down. I might put 2 by first pitch. No, I'm not D-Trip. Okay, good to know. Good to know. It's a little bit confusing because, I'm pretty sure his name's Derek too. Troy and Chad, free bands play a day. Marlins minus 128, which brings me to my next game. Next game up. It's just my 2 cents. Thank you for always stopping by. I always see you in chat. I really appreciate all the love, man. This is a great community. There's a reason I'm here at Pub Sports Radio, and it's because I believe in this community. And I've grown with this community. I've learned a shit ton from this community. And that's the thing. You want to get incrementally better. You want to encounter the complexity to make you dangerous and to make you humble. And that's what this channel is all about. You want to be able to learn, man. You always got to learn incrementally better. Joseph Abancos, let's get it, man. Let's get it. Okay, now let's talk about Dougie Wise's play of the day with the Marlins minus 128. So I look at this market, I'm kind of shocked to see that Alcantara is only getting 42% of bets, 43% of cash. This market is another one that's been have we seen a big move here recently? Yeah, over the past hour and a half or so, this line started moving. This line opened minus 110. Right now, the Marlins, we've seen a 19-cent move towards the Marlins. That means somebody's got announced out of this lineup. I'm almost certain that would be the case in this spot, and this changes the market. Line movement is extremely inefficient in this price range in division. Extremely inefficient. It sucks. And sharp action is actually extremely efficient. And in this case, looking at 58% of bets on the road team, I know that favors the Marlins. There's definitely, let's actually pull it up because I had some interest in this game. I want to see what happens in division when we got this open at a pick, right? What happens when we open around that pick 'em price range and we move all the way up to 57% implied? That's a big move. I mean, this is a no joke move we're looking at here. So I want to make sure I got my shit right here, and I want to look at this total range. This total range has to be incorporated. 8.5. Home team 52% on the money line. Under. Massive trend to the under. Massive trends to the under here. And even if we open it up, the filter ref, 68% to the under, 52-48 for the home team. Tricky spot. And it actually looks like the home team's been dominant here in 2026, which tells me that we don't have consistency and confluence throughout all 3 seasons. This is going to be a pass for me, ultimately. I look at Nola, and I think he's on pace for his worst season by far. Like, the handicap is with you 100% of the way. What number did you get on this, Dougie? He's got minus 128, so he waited. He wanted confirmation with that line move. And it's a really tricky market now that I was looking at. I didn't spend enough time with it, but I will say that this matchup is all over the Marlins, in my opinion. Yeah, I was just talking about Nola, 430 xERA, all on pace for the worst season of his career by far. It's not even close. I talk about the importance of the fastball. Nola is example A. Fastball run value in 2022 was the 100th percentile. He had one of the best, most efficient fastballs in the MLB in 2022. And he posted the best numbers of his career in 2022. Since then, each season, we've seen a little bit of regression in his fastball and his usage and his velocity and his ability to command it in location. And guess what? He's down from the 100th percentile 5 years ago to the very bottom of the barrel, the first percentile, the bottom 1% in first fastball efficiency. That's not good. And his velo wasn't the main contributor. I think it's a mixture of usage and command, sequencing, all part of that. And Miami, they've been struggling here lately. They broke the downtrend. If anyone caught a falling knife yesterday, congratulations. This is a top 10 lineup versus right-handed pitching. Everyone goes through their slumps. Maybe they broke out of it yesterday. Then you got Alcantara. So you got Nola on one side. Then you got Alcantara. And his fastball usage is down also, but he's got the 374 xERA. He's coming off 7 innings, 9 hits, 5 earned in Houston. He gave up 3 home runs, but that's on the road. I mean, this is night and day for Alcantara, home versus road. At home, 326 ERA, 106 whip, 213 opponent batting average, 594 OPS, and Philly does not hit right-handed pitching. I would lean towards the under, and I definitely lean towards the Marlins. I will not be able to put any money down on the Phillies here because I do think one variable I didn't account for in this market was accounting for the road team, having that elite status or like that tax, right? The Phillies still come with the tax to some extent. Maybe not anymore. I don't know. I got to spend more time with that market. I don't feel very comfortable talking about it, but I would lean Marlins, lean under. And Josh Witt, Phillies team total over. What's up, Troy? Good luck today. Thank you, Spoons. Thank you, Spoons. Yeah, no Schwarber, but crazy it's moved that much. Yeah, Schwarber's worth 20 cents. Jesus. 20 cents. So really what the bookies are saying right there is, at minus 110, you need to win 52% to break even. At minus 130, it's 56%. So you're telling me that Kyle Schwarber's worth 4% to the implied odds? That's a massive swing, man. It's such a massive swing. Which kind of tells me that there might be a little bit more to it. Next game up in a game that I am actually I've become bullish on as the day progressed, and now we see this market moving towards the Rangers. We got Rays versus Rangers, and I know that this is probably going to be one of the most controversial bets on my slate today. But how could you not be looking towards Cal Quantrill and the Texas Rangers today? We're looking at all this action coming in on Tampa Bay. Rays open minus 181. They're down to minus 175. The total opened 8, juice to the over. It's up to 8.5. Again, this market's moving to the over. I don't want to lean into that variable too much because it's always happening so frequently. It's not even noteworthy. It's a little bit tricky to deal with these moves to the over. But what I will say is when you see this stagnant line, this line has not moved at all towards the Rays since it's opened. This has been stagnant all day. Now we're starting to see it trickle down towards the Texas Rangers, which makes a ton of sense. And I have a ton of profiles that I could break down and give you here on this line, but I'll just make it – I'm just going to widen it up and just make it pretty easy to follow, right? Home teams that open and close between minus 200 and minus 160. I included that entire range from you don't ever see me talk about a 40-cent price range when I'm talking about the market history. In this case, it didn't matter if I broke it down between minus 190 to 200, every 10-cent increment netted the same value. So open and close minus 200 to minus 160, non-divisional with line movement less than 10 cents. The home team is 62 and 62 straight up, 50% straight up in this sample. 50%, you can get a massive plus price on the road dog. The under is also 55%, but if we take that one step deeper and we say, what about when we include the total between 8 and 8.5? The home team, 22 and 31 straight up, 42%. Home teams do not perform well in this market environment. I know the Rays, like you're betting against them, you're playing Russian roulette at best. Like you're playing with fire. I can't say enough about this Rays team, how good they've been, especially not hitting for power. And what they do with playing small ball, their offense has been so impressive. But this is just a market I will never let pass up, especially if I could put some X's and O's to it. And in this case, I could put X's and O's to it. And I'll start with Griffin Jax, which is what made this bet very easy for me to make. This is a pitcher I've discussed fading every time I come on the show. Every time he pitches on a Tuesday or Thursday, you hear me coming on the show talking about my concerns with Griffin Jax. And we've faded him successfully. Why do I want to fade him? It's because I broken record. I'm going to sound like a broken record. It's because we're talking about a reliever that transitioned to a starting pitcher. Starting pitchers need to use the fastball at a higher rate. The best ones, the best pitchers in baseball, they use the fastball at a high clip. Well, Jack's fastball usage is less than 40%. That's the first sign that we want to fade him. His fastball run value is in the bottom 15th percentile. He can generate swing and miss. Don't get me wrong, but he cannot command the fastball, which means he'll always be susceptible to a high hard hit and barrel percentage. And Jax at home has actually given up those barrels at a higher clip. He's given up more home runs at home than he has on the road. And Texas First right-handed pitching, they've been heating up against both right-handed and left-handed pitching. They're sixth since July 1st, which against right-handed pitching, that nets you a pretty decent sample. They're league average on the season, but they are trending in the right direction. We know this lineup has some boom to it. On the other side of the equation, Cal Quantrill, I mean, it's not like I can go to the bat and say Cal Quantrill's all this and all that. Look at the price of this game, right? It makes sense that Cal Quantrill's a dog in this spot on the Rangers with the Rays against the Rays. That makes a ton of sense. So the big prices are what scares me. I look at Cal Quantrill, and if you look back at what he was doing last season and prior seasons, he went from the basement to the bottom, like the bottom of the barrel to the top of the stairs. At least he's right around average. His hard hit, his barrel rate showing huge improvements year over year. His location is much better than it was 21-25, but he's still like a below average to average pitcher in the MLB. I get it. And I might be biased because I like his pitch mix too. So maybe I'm biased. He got the fastball, sinker, cutter, the combination that I like to see. And he has a splitter that he also throws 19% of the time. And the problem is he throws that splitter to lefties and lefties kill him. So that tells you that the splitter has not really been very helpful for him. And he struggles versus left-handed hitters, and Rays with 7 in their lineup. Rays versus right-handed pitching 11 since July 1st. So it's not like the matchup is all that, but I could tell you that Griffin Jax, this price is too expensive for Griffin Jax. It's too steep. Quantrill's backable with his underlying numbers, and he's going to be indoors where he's going to be much more comfortable, after pitching in Texas. And I think Texas lineup is a buy-on lineup at the moment. Like the Rays coming off sweeping Cleveland. The offense was kind of dead in that series. The Rangers coming off winning 3 of 4 against Seattle. Now they travel to play Tampa Bay. I feel like they're going to get up for this game. I moved on the Rangers. I got 3 bets. I got half a unit on each of them. Rangers first 5 plus a half plus 105. Rangers first 5 money line plus 155. And the Rangers full game money line plus 154. You ask me why I put more money on the first 5 than the full game. It's because of my handicap on Griffin Jax. I can't say that the market is more stronger in the first 5 than it is in the full game. Now that we've seen a little bit of line movement, we could peek back at that variable, and it's not, right? I mean, I would not say that the first 5 market is stronger at all. Like I guess bet online has moved it from minus or plus 140. Yeah, I mean, if anything, the full game market is stronger than the first 5 market. But my handicap on Griffin Jax is where I want to go to war. Let's see if anybody in the chat disagrees or agrees. Phillies, Marlins over 8 in my pocket. Justin McAfee, I could dig that, bro. I could dig that. Miami's an over team. Let's take my care of my wife because I can't work right now. Shit, Josh Witt. Shit, man. If there's anything I could do to help you, support you, let me know, man. Holler at me, dude. I mean, I'll keep you in my prayers, dude. I'll keep you in my prayers. I'm not sure what happened with your wife, but I know you're going to take care of business. And I don't handle these situations like Jimmy the Bag does. He does it so well. But this is a family in here. I truly believe that. And prayers for you and your family, dude. Opinion on total 8.5. 8.5 in the Rangers-Rays game. I get Thomas Maggio, you don't want my opinion, dude. You don't want my opinion on totals. I'll lead you in the wrong direction. And I'm so stubbornly biased in a way when it comes to totals right now. I would only be betting the unders. All right, next game up, Tigers O's. And this is a game I have not moved on yet, but I'm getting closer and closer. We're looking at the Tigers that open minus 150. They're down to minus 144. Total open 9, juice to the over. We've seen 5 cents of juice, more juice towards the over, but it's still 9. It's almost like a 9.5 at this point. We look at the history of this line, this market environment in a non-divisional setting. You're seeing a home team winning 53-ish% of the time. That is until we account for this small move that we've seen towards the road team. Then you see a massive, massive trend in favor of the Orioles. And it's a little bit tough. It's definitely tough trying to fade Troy Melton. I've been huge on Troy Melton. I came on here last show and I talked about how incredible this kid has been. I mean, 3.18 xERA, 0.95 whip, 2 starts where he had 0 earned runs, 5 starts with 1 earned run, 2 starts with 2 earned run, only 1 non-quality start. It was the first home start of his season after 3 consecutive road starts. We backed him a ton. We backed him last Thursday. We cashed the team total unders in the first 5 and the full game. And he fits both of my criteria for meta. What's meta? It's the splitter. It's the fastball sinker cutter. He does both of them. He's elite versus lefties, elite versus righties. He's the only reason I have not moved on this game yet. The Orioles have been uptrending versus right-handed pitching. Creamer's another guy that I kind of want to back. I kind of like this stuff. Kind of like what I see from him. He's coming off 6 innings, 6 earned in Boston, and we faded him, which was really strictly because of the market. That was more of an outlier because I like what he's done. I didn't want to fade him. I was forced to fade him in that spot. And he's had a really tough schedule. Boston, who's been hot. Houston, who's been hot versus right-handed pitching. The Cubs, the White Sox. I mean, these are all hot lineups. He has the fastball sinker cutter in his bag, but the main offering is the splitter. But the spray chart is what concerns me with Creamer. He reminds me of Taj Bradley. He struggles with command. He's still very effective. And actually, I want to see what with all this splitter usage, I want to see, and I got these numbers, I pulled them up earlier. I want to see how is this Tigers team against the splitter? Very important to look at this. The Tigers, and here they are. The Tigers versus the splitter, 29th in the MLB. 29th. They got a 140 batting average, a 162 expected batting average. I mean, this is, you know who else is right below them? The Milwaukee Brewers. Surprise, surprise. The Detroit Tigers are the second worst team in the MLB versus the splitter. If you look based on expected batting average, they're the worst team, and the worst team by a wide margin. Food for thought. Food for thought. I'm going to be back in the Orioles. I got to be betting. I'm going to bet this right now. I don't want to wait for after the show. I just want to get this out of the way. I'm betting the Orioles as we speak. BOL, it's got this plus 127. Just give me a plus 127. That's fine. All right. I'm on the Orioles. I'm going to take them full game. I got to do my due diligence here. Let's check the first 5. Yep. We're going to be moving full game. Full game Orioles money line plus 127. I'm going to put a half a unit on it. It's only a half unit because I don't think, I don't love the matchup. I love the market, I like the matchup. And the situational aspects, a little 50-50, but I'm on the Tigers. The Orioles, excuse me. Orioles. Troy Melton's confusing me a little bit. Sorry, I'm just making this note, writing this down into my wager log, and we'll be good to go. 127. Okay, so we got the O's in our bag. Okay, next game up, the Nationals and the Blue Jays. And I know there's a lot of guys, a lot of teams like the Nats. And if you like the Nats, Ant-Man 22.622 CH. Ant-Man. If I had to say Griffin Jack strikeouts, I would say it's not a bad look. I don't know the exact matchup, but he does get swing and miss. If he's getting outs, it's strikeouts. If you get it'd be nice to get like the first 3 innings. His strikeouts all come early. You could tell that these relief pitchers that turn starters, they kind of fade away as the game goes on. And there's Dougie Wise right on cue with the Nats first 5 minus a half. But I'm actually looking towards the other way. But I'm looking towards the other way full game. I'm not looking towards the first 5. I do agree that the first 5 is kind of strong in favor of the Nationals. But this is just a market that is another market that's overwhelming. You see the road team winning over 50% of the time. Because what do we got in this situation? We got the line dropping from minus 156 to minus 144, a 12-cent move, despite 60% of bets, 60% of cash coming in on the Nationals. This is a very bullish setup for the road team. And and this is speaking non-divisional, of course. It's usually the main filter. I need to be split between divisional and non-divisional. But the Nationals, it's just a tricky time anytime you're fading the Nationals, because you got to treat these markets like an outlier almost. Colorado, Sacramento, with the Athletics and the Rockies, the Nationals probably fit that same profile because they work inversely to the market trends that we see elsewhere. For example, if you pull a profile, any profile that is for any game, and you look at the trend, say the home team's money line is 56%, and then you toggle it on to the Nationals. If they're 56, they might be like 32%, or they're 99%. It's just they never really fit the trends. So you could take that for what it is. But I do notice that they do not really fit into the structure, the typical market structure that most teams do. Cavalli is a guy that we backed and I talked about very favorably on this program. He's coming off 2 starts on the road against Colorado and the Athletics, which lends a ton of credibility to what he's been able to do this season. And it lends credibility to my statements that Washington operates like those 2 ballparks, outliers. This is an outlier situation. Cavalli has the talent to be an elite pitcher. There's no doubt about it. He can generate swing and miss. He does a good job with command, avoiding middle, 49% ground ball rate, puts him in the top 20%. His fastball velo at 97. But at the same time, this price was very steep because Shane Bieber, I know he started off his first 4 starts, graded out as the worst pitcher in the MLB by far, by a landslide. His underlying number still 7.26 xERA, but his last 3 starts, 18 innings, 12 hits, 3 earned, a sub-1 whip. It's hard to make sense of the Savant page. It really is. When over half of the innings he's pitched, he was nearly unhittable, yet he's still posting this big xERA. The pitch mix does seem to be a little bit outdated and dry. This is not a pitcher that I'm very confident in my handicap, but we've seen this guy have success in the MLB before. And I don't see why he can't continue it, especially after looking at what he did his past 3 outings. And he did that against the White Sox, the Rays, and the Padres. I mean, take that for what it is. The Padres have been red hot. The White Sox, they've not been very good on the road. And then the Rays, who have been red hot. So, I'm going to be backing the Blue Jays. And I backed the Blue Jays. Let's see what price I ended up getting on this. Plus 124 Blue Jays full game money line. And obviously, you never bet against the Nationals in the first 5. You never bet on the Nationals in the full game. Nationals are a first 5 bet or a full game fade. It's one or the other. Toronto, Washington under 9. This would 100% be an under that I would be betting if I was following my typical process, but I'm avoiding the totals for right now. This would be 100%. I'd be betting this under. Alfred Herrera, what's up, Troy? I rock with the show 100%. Thank you very much. I work my ass off to keep prepared for this show. It's hard to keep up with all the line movements prior to the show popping off too, but it's important that I iron those out. Next game up was the Braves-Mets. We don't got that one. So let's go to the second game of the doubleheader, the Guardians and the Reds. And I don't know how much we lead into this market environment here. So we got a bunch of, this is a tricky market, 40% to bets, 79% to cash on Cincy. This is not really adding up. The line is a little bit tough to read, but I did move on this bet. One of the first things I did is I seen Gavin Williams on the mound, and I got this bet in immediately. And this is one of the rare occasions where I did not put. This is one of the rare occasions where I had to get my action in almost right away. And I look at the market history in a spot, and this is a game where if it was a divisional market, I'd be second guessing what I was doing. But you take away the non-division, you look at non-conference, and you see these massive trends towards the road team and the road favorite in this situation. And I still suspect we're getting Singer coming in this game. I expected Singer to come in. The pitcher was not listed when I was making this bet. Let me make sure it's going to be Singer. Jose Franco is the primary, huh? Jose Franco is the primary. Let me see. This has changed quite a bit. You know what? We're going to have to let this game go. We're going to have to let this game go for right now. I got the Guardians first 5 money line, but I think this price is probably gone. Absolutely gone. Guardians first 5 money line minus 125, 2 units. I was on Gavin Williams. Cincinnati does not touch right-handed pitching. They're 30th since June 1st. They're 30th on the season. They're the worst team in the MLB. I talked about this Reds lineup being awful, and that's exactly what they have been. Gavin Williams with his ability to generate swing and miss, nasty stuff, high K rate, high whiff rate, high chase rate, but the barrel and hard hit percentage are bottom 10%. So, when he misses bad over the middle. I don't think the Reds are going to be able to punish him. Whoever the Reds put out on the mound on the other side, I expect Williams to outduel. So I do endorse a Guardians first 5 bet. Next game up, White Sox, Yankees. And this is a spot where I do like my action. And goddamn, have we seen a big move on this game. White Sox opened plus 123. They were down to plus 117, then down to plus 113, then down to minus 101, and now they're sitting plus 104. So we've seen a massive move, almost a 20-cent move in favor of the White Sox. And there's a little bit of nuance with this market, a little bit of nuance because the size of the line move has to be built in here. But if we look at home teams that close between minus 110, plus 110 after a over 10-cent move in their direction, the home team is 50-50 straight up. So if you're getting a plus price on the White Sox, I recommend it. We also have heavy trends to the under. Another game that I'd be betting the under if I hadn't had so much failures with my ability to bet totals. I just can't bet totals successfully. So I'm staying away from it. But I do think the under is a valuable play here. Anthony K, I'm just going to have to throw in the towel. I'm going to have to tip my cap to this guy. He's got a 5.34 xERA. It's maintained 5.30-ish for like 3 months now. And even through all the good starts we've seen, I've been planning for regression. It hasn't come. It's been consistent all season long. And his performances have been just as consistent. Last 4 starts, 18 innings, 12 hits, 7 earned, 3.44 ERA, 3 games on the road. Only home game was against Boston. Boston crushes left-handed pitching, right? 5.1 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned. This guy, Anthony K, has been elite, and it's insane to say that. I don't want to say elite. I don't want to go that far, but he has been great, pitching way above his pay grade. He has the pitch mix combo that I value, fastball, sinker, cutter. He got the sweeper to mix in there, but the fastball usage, another reason I want to fade this guy, he barely passes the auto fade target of 40%. If it's below 40%, usually I'd put him in the 40. I'd put him in the auto fade category. He doesn't. He barely crosses that 40% threshold, but still, he's bottom 20th percentile in pitching value, bottom 20th in fastball value, xERA, K rate, below average in hard hit rate, doesn't generate a ton of ground balls, but somehow continues to put quality performances up on the board in the box score. Look at the New York Yankees, 27th versus left-handed pitching since July 1st, bottom 5 since Judge went out of the lineup. I don't think the Yankees are going to be able to reproduce what they did last night. We want to fade that offense after a big offensive explosion. And then you look at Garrett Cole. I love what he's done. 3.53 xERA. He's consistently pitched into the 6th inning, given 2 to 3 earned runs. But most of those earned runs are coming in the 4th, 5th, 6th inning later in his start. We bought him in Yankees Stadium against the White Sox, and we won 12-2. Now we're going to be fading him, directly fading him, buying Anthony K versus the Yankees lineup that can't hit left-handed pitching. And I'm on the White Sox first 5 money line for plus 120 for a unit. And I got the White Sox first 5 plus a half, minus 120 for a half a unit. And Justin McElvee's got the plus 115 in his pocket. It's a beautiful thing, man. Glad to see we're rocking together. Make that final table, Buck Knife. Who are you talking about final table? Someone's final tabling up here. I'm on the White Sox first 5. Back in Anthony K. Next game up, Twins and the Royals. And I do like this game. The more I sat with this game, the more I studied this game, I was forced to make a bet. You look at the history of this market in a divisional matchup. Home teams in division in this price range are successful. Non-divisional home teams in this price range, not successful. It's pretty as easy as that. So here's home team, 51-26, 66% with the baseline profile. If we incorporate the opening price, 25-10, if 80% or more of the cash is on the home team, it increases to 8-1 straight up, 8-1 on the run line. The Twins at home this season, priced less than -140. They're only 4-4 straight up, but if the line is moving their way, they're 3-1 straight up. The Royals on the road in like kind markets in this sample, 3-7 straight up. This is a time we want to be buying the Twins. Bradley, he's a bet on pitcher. I faded him in Chicago because Chicago Cubs, they hit the splitter, and they hit his splitter that day. I talk about Bradley. He's typically undervalued in the market, and he has an appealing pitching mix. The fastball, 47%, cutter 24%, splitter 20%, curveball 9%. The stuff is dirty. The spray charts and the command is clearly not there with the stuff. Stuff is great. Command location is not so great. So if we frequently see him miss location, especially with the splitter. I don't think that this Royals team is going to be equipped to hit the left-handed or the splitter. The two best players in their lineup, Isbell and Witt, Bobby Witt Jr. They're the best hitters against the splitter. They're out of the lineup today. So I like the spot for Todd Bradley. Then Lugo, 5.44 xERA. He's pitched above his xERA 4 consecutive seasons. He's doing it again this season, but it's been regressing. It continues to plummet. The K rate is plummeting, along with the expected batting average. The expected slug numbers are plummeting. Savant has Lugo squarely in the bottom 10% of the MLB. And if you watch him pitch, you can see him struggling almost instantaneously as the game begins. We have seen his ability. He can post. He has the propensity to post a quality start like he did against San Francisco or San Diego, but he doesn't have the consistency, and he's been terrible on the road. On the road, 5.40 ERA, 143 WHIP, 297 batting average, 846 OPS. And Minnesota versus right-handed pitching, they're 5th on the season, but they've been regressing sharply. 16th since July 1st, 25th since June 1st. But Lugo versus Minnesota has not been good. 92 at bats, 283 opponent batting average. I'm on the Twins first 5 money line at -155. And I had the Twins Reds money line parlay, but I replaced that action with the Twins and the Twins Padres money line parlay for a half unit. Twins Padres money line parlay for a half unit plus 145. I like the Twins today. Oh my God, Josh Witt. I don't even want to hear the word football right now. It's going to get me too distracted. Top Set in a nice tourney. Come on, Top Set. I didn't see him in chat, but I'll be rooting for him, man. There he is, Top Set. Give him the knucks. Come on, Top Set. Lock in, bro. Lock in, bro. Turn me off and go stack somebody. I'm on Twins and the first 3 under. Let's go. Let's go, Top Set. Next game up, Cardinals Cubs. And no surprise to see that the action is piling in on the Chicago Cubs. This line has been extremely stagnant in this market. If you've been listening to me, you know that the Cardinals profile well in this market. There's no way around it. It's hard, right? Here I am rocking the Cubs. I'm a Cubs fan, and I have a half unit on the Cubs money line, and I'm betting that in the face of the database without any market history to give me any support. So keep that in mind for this action. Ray is not a pitcher. The Cubs have only won 2 of Ray's last 10 starts. And the reason I'm betting the Cubs, I've been betting them pretty much every game for quite a long time. And I've been very successful. And there's a reason I'm betting them, because their defense is the best in the MLB. I expect guys like Rhea, like Peterson. And Peterson generates a ton of ground balls. So this is a bit different with Rhea. But I feel like that defense behind him gives them advantage, because I feel like if anything's overlooked when it comes to handicap in baseball, it's defense, and the Cubs have a ton of it. And they have a great offense, obviously. And St. Louis, first right-handed pitching, they're 30th since July 1st. They're 25th on the season. They do not hit right-handed pitching. I look at Ray, what he's been able to do this season. It's not been pretty, 5.59 xERA. But the changeup, He can generate swing and miss. He can generate chase on the changeup. He's in the 95th percentile. The changeup definitely has been working for him. And as he dropped that arm, he dropped it from 41 degrees to 30 degrees. That changeup has picked up significantly. And he's going to use that more and more as the season goes on, I'm sure. McGreevy on the other side, we've been planning for regression. He's like Anthony K, 5.48 xERA, but a 3.07 actual ERA. Coming off a start against the D-backs, 6.1 innings, 7 hits, 3 walks, 4 earned. I keep planning for aggression. It hasn't come. The fastball run value in the top 6%, definitely it gives me some hesitation. He's got a high ground ball rate, a low walk rate, but the bad is bottom 10% in K rate, bottom 25% in hard hit rate. The pitch mix is broad. The sequencing has given him some success. But all around, it's a mixed bag when it comes to McGreevy. I don't know what to expect moving forward, but I do know that the Cubs have been smashing both right-handed and left-handed pitching. They're number 1 since June 1st, number 7th on the season. And this, McGreevy versus the Cubs, 55 at bats, 327 batting average, 882 OPS. I expect that to continue. I'm on the Cubs. I bet the Cubs money line for a half a unit, and I got the Cubs at -108. You can get probably a better price than that. Josh Witt, everyone push the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. I would appreciate that very much. That'll keep me coming back, man. Thanks for all your hard work, picks, and shows. I've taken care of my wife. Thanks, Troy. Sweet bets, Jimmy, for all love, support. Love y'all. Oh, yeah, Josh Witt. Hell yeah, Josh. Did you read any of my other messages? No, I have. Which ones? No, I didn't see them. I've been locked in to what I'm putting out here. Okay, next game up. We got a few left on the slate. Angels, Astros, and I hammered the Angels' first 5 yesterday. Urania. We're betting Urania every time he's on the mound. Every time he's on the mound. You got the Angels, who are an undervalued team on the market with an absolute stud rookie pitcher. You're betting Urania first 5 every time he's on the mound. Detmers, I was under the same impression. He was kind of following suit with Urania. Now he's kind of given back a little bit of the cash he's delivered early in the season. But he's still a very reliable pitcher in this market where I want to be betting the home team in division. It's the same market we were just talking about above with the Cubs and the Cardinals. It's strong. Divisional home teams that open between -115 and +105 with less than a 10-cent move are 123 and 82 straight up, 60%. If we incorporate the closing range, -115 to +100 to account for this small move towards the Angels, 88 and 55, 62%. Incorporate the total between 8 and 8.5, 37 and 23, 62%. 60, 62, 62%. We're looking at a profile that, a home team that profiles over 60% historically. But we don't bet the Angels full game. We bet the Angels first 5, and that's what I did here because I want to back Detmers. I love his approach. He attacks the zone early in counts. He can generate chase with the slider and the changeup. The spray chart looks fantastic. The xERA suggests favorable regression. And he does a great job keeping hitters off balance. In Houston, they used to hit left-handed pitching historically past few years. This year, 26th since July 1st, 28th since June 1st. This has been one of the worst lineups in the MLB the past full 2 months of the season. And I don't know if that's going to change based on what we've seen. Lambert on the mound, another pitcher that I do believe in, and he's been elite since July. He's got a 3.48 xERA. This is a guy I believe in. I've backed him quite a bit this season. He's been elite. 24 innings, 15 hits since July, only a 1.52 ERA. But 3 of the 4 starts were at home, all of which were indoors. He has 8 pitches in his mix. His fastball usage is 40%. It's the one thing that keeps me off really becoming bullish on this cat. His pitching run value is above average. He's league average when it comes to swing and miss, hard hit, walk rates, and well below average at ground ball rate. And he has reverse splits. He's worse versus right-handed hitters, and that's not good versus a team like the Angels. I think there's more than just a market that supports a bet on the Angels. I think the matchup does as well, especially considering the Astros' late-game heroics yesterday to get the comeback win. And I think it's important for Detmers to accumulate trade value, right? So Angels' first 5 money line, -108. I might add to that position. It's 1 unit for now. Josh Witt, we found out my wife has cancer. She's going through it. Prayers, Josh. Prayers. Stay strong, man. Stay strong. Stay strong. Family's all we got. Family's the most important thing. Never let anything get in the way of you and your family, bro. Man, that's tough, man. Man, that's tough. Prayers, Josh Witt. It's God's plan, whatever it is. We're subject to it. Man, it's really hard to talk about baseball. You think about how important what Josh Witt's going through. I can't imagine. Can't imagine. And that leads me into my next spot, which I wanted to be very bullish and very energetic about. It's not your fault, man, Josh Witt. This is the most important thing is your family, dude. Stay strong over there, bro. Stay strong. Stay strong, and hopefully these Padres could deliver a nice cash cow victory because we're looking at all the cash coming on San Diego, which is exactly what we want in a cash cow situation. We got the Padres who opened minus 192. They got up to minus 217. Then they kept climbing all the way up to minus 231. I could talk about this market till I'm dead blue in the face, but I will tell you this. In division, you won't be looking at a profile for the home team that's under 70% on the money line. Automatically, there's going to be value on the money line. And with this massive move, when you incorporate this massive move into this structure, you're looking at a 70% trend on the run line. This market is only improved with this. The bigger the move gets, the more successful the home teams have been. If you look at even the Rockies or the Padres at home in this price range this year, they're less than minus 150. They're 8-3 straight up. They're 3-1 straight up and run line. And they're 4-0 straight up and run line in this sample against the Rockies. This is a market we want to be betting on the Padres, at least one unit. But I'm going to be doing that for more because I think the matchup aligns. Lorenzen with a 5.66 xERA, coming off 3.2 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned at home in Washington. He's been better on the road, which is not a surprise considering the thin air of Colorado for Lorenzen. 5.04 ERA, 158 whip, 305 opponent batting average, and 940 OPS. It's not at home. It's on the road. It's not very good. Now, he has been kind of trending in the right direction, but he has one of the most disgusting savant pages I've ever seen. He's bottom first percentile in pitching, fastball, and off-speed run value. Bottom 5% in xERA, expected batting average, chase percentage, and hard hit rate. Bottom 10% pretty much every other category on the sheet. The only numbers that are in range of average are his walk rate and his ground ball rate. And San Diego has been getting hot versus right-handed pitching. The third since July 1st. They're 19th on the season, and they've absolutely destroyed Lorenzen when they've seen him historically. King is another pitcher on the other side that I want to back. Continues to pitch well above his expected numbers, coming off 3 consecutive starts, pitching 5 or more innings with less than 5 hits and 1 earned run. At home this season, 1.16 whip, 213 opponent batting average, and a 3.11 ERA. And he has 4 pitches that he uses at over 20% mix. He has great command. He keeps hitters visibly off balance. He doesn't allow hard contact. Colorado versus right-handed pitching, they've been uptrending. And uptrending for Colorado's 19th over the past month, 24th on the season. Obviously, the Padres have the advantage in the bullpen. Rockies travel from Milwaukee to San Diego. They're 1-6 straight up in the first game of a road-to-road series, 1-6. Their only win was on March 30th, the very first game in that 1-6 sample. It's been months since this team has won a road-to-road, the first game of a road-to-road series, months. That was against Toronto. Padres travel home after 3 consecutive road series. 3 consecutive road series, that's no joke. Coming home for the first time. They're 4-3 straight up in the first game of a road-to-home series. Rockies with the worst MLB record, worst record in the MLB. They're all but eliminated from playoff contention. Padres just 1.5 games back from the wild card. The Padres must be back in the spot. Must be back. And I know you think you're losing value. The line has moved too much. No, it has not. Historically speaking, it is not. Now, maybe they don't get the cash in this game, but it is what it is. I'm on the Padres first 5 -0.5, minus 128 for 1 unit. I'm on the Padres straight money line, minus 200 for 1 unit. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But the most important is just measuring the value between the money line and the run line. And you can see that the money line, full game, you net more value than you do on the run line, especially at the current state of the run line in the minus price range. Padres Twins money line for a half unit plus 145. I got 2.5 units invested, and I'm likely going to have more before first pitch. Sharps on under here in San Diego. Be careful with the team total betting. I suspect a classic low-scoring affair, team total. Yeah, Craig Wood, and I would agree with you. We've seen this with San Diego. In this price range, in the cash cow market, at home, winning by 1 run. We see it. Next game up, we got a game I bet yesterday, Athletics, Red Sox. No surprise to see everybody now piling on the Red Sox. Everyone left this Red Sox team for dead. Now everybody wants in. Let's see if there's any changes to this market. and there has been, we're seeing a bigger move towards the Athletics or towards the Red Sox in the spot, open plus 121, 8-cent move towards the Red Sox. And it's always tricky when you're dealing with markets in Sacktown. So let's talk about Sacktown. Let's talk about Athletics at home since 2025 when they played in this AAA ballpark. The first thing I want to note is that when the Athletics are at home with the market moving towards the over, 14-30 straight up, 32% over the past 2 seasons. 15-29 on the run line, that's 34%, and 60% to the over. And that's not just last season or just this season where they've been consistently this bad. No, they're winning less than 60% of the games in both samples, well less than 60% of the games. And if they're plus money home dogs in that sample, they're 2-17 straight up, 11%, 6-13 on the run line, 13-5 to the over. Again, consistent across both seasons. And if we look at just plus money home dogs in general with a total greater than 9 and a market moving towards the over, the average price is plus 130. That's exactly what we're looking at here. Home team, 69 at 126. That's 35%. So you're looking at a money line, we're seeing a money line that's, roughly hitting between 65 and 66%. That means, these road favorites have performed more like a minus 190 than they have like a minus 150. So there is value, in my opinion, on this Red Sox team. You can get Red Sox minus 146, 60% implied, 59% implied. So this historically has been a good bet on the Red Sox. You look at Bennett on the mound. I mean, Red Sox fans should be, ecstatic about having Jake Bennett and Peyton Toll, who are 2 of the best young pitchers in the game. Bennett's coming off 5.2 innings, 9 hits, 3 earned at home versus Baltimore, and that was one of his worst starts on the season. 6 innings, 9 hits, 3 earned, one of his worst starts. He's been elite on the road, 2.10 ERA, 0.86 WHIP, and he's pitched in one like-kind environment like Sacktown, Colorado. He went to Colorado, gave 6 innings, 4 hits, no earned. I love what he brings to the table. Clearly, he has command and IQ that's on a different level than all the other young rookie pitchers. I feel like it's IQ, his ability to sequence. I don't know who's calling the pitches, but he knows how to execute them. Fastball sinker usage at 60%, and he's throwing his run values top 20th percentile. That's impressive. The changeup is absolutely dirty. 27% usage on the changeup, top 3 percentile in pitching run value. The Athletics at home versus left-handed pitching, I talk about this all the time, the home road splits and their offensive the ability to manufacture runs. At home versus left-handed pitching, they're 3rd on the season. And it makes me hesitate because on the road versus left-handed pitching, they're 30th. So they go from top 3 to the very worst team in the MLB full season. If you look at Athletics versus left-handed pitching, no home road splits just in general. Since July 1st, they're 22nd. I like the spot for Jake Bennett. I like the spot for the Red Sox. You don't want to catch a falling knife. I know they had a loss recently, but this team is still trending in the right direction. Jump, 23 years old. You can't expect a lot from this kid. He was great in his first 6 starts, and then he experienced rapid regression, coming off 8 hits, 6 earned on the road versus Arizona. And he's been significantly worse at home, where he's posting a 6.35 ERA and a 1.69 WHIP. I haven't watched enough of this kid to pass proper judgment, but he throws hard, 96 miles an hour. He generates swing and miss above average, but the spray chart clearly shows he makes mistakes over the heart of the plate far too often, which explains why his hard hit rate is what it is in the bottom 20th percentile. Boston versus right-handed pitching. This is shocking to see. 22nd since July 1st, 28th since June 1st. So despite the run that they've been on, they have not been producing versus right-handed pitching. I still lean towards the Red Sox. And, based on the starting pitching matchup and the right-hand versus left-handed matchup, I like the under too. Fortunately, I can't bet the under. I've been largely unsuccessful. So I do like the Red Sox. Red Sox smash, nasty motherfucking Nate. Red Sox smash, dude. Billy Fay says, hey, Troy, what's your unit size on Twins first half money line? Twins first half money line, I bet a full unit. So I put Twins first 5 money line. Let me see, minus 155, put 620 to win 400. Jump strikeouts over for Alfredo Herrera. Boston, but seems real public. Yeah, I know the public it makes it tricky. Okay, thank you, brother. No problem. Anytime, man. I like King, says Thomas Maggio. I love me some King, bro. I love me some King. Merrill hitter props. Sharps on the under here in San Diego, says Craig Wood. Be careful. Yeah, we talked about that. I thought it's maybe the second worst team in baseball, especially with the injuries. Yeah, that's true. That's so true. The injuries have really crushed this lineup. Like, we've seen this lineup start to fall off here recently, and it's really due to these injuries. Next game up, another game I have action on, and it is the Brewers and the Giants. We got Root versus Henderson, and we got a lot of action coming in on the Milwaukee Brewers. 73% of bets, 93% of cash. Same cash flow we've been looking at all day, and a very similar line that we've been looking at all day. Brewers open minus 144. They're up to minus 156. Total open 7.5. It's juicing towards the under, towards 7. And if you look at non-divisional home teams priced between plus 120 and plus 140, exactly what we're looking at today with this low total and the line moving towards the road team, exactly what we're looking at. The home team's winning 58% of that sample. The over is also coming in at 58%. Even if we remove the divisional filter and say just any games in this sample, in this market environment, the home team's still profiling above 50%. I look at this matchup and I immediately moved on the Giants' first 5. I split a half a unit on the first 5 money line, the first 5 plus a half. I got plus 120 on the first 5 money line, plus a half. I got minus 120. So basically, it nets out to a plus 100. I look at Henderson, and yeah, I know, like, he's been great. He's having an incredible rookie season. He's been slightly worse on the road, but he's still great numbers. 0.98 whip on the road. I still don't know if he's seen a lot of great lineups. St. Louis, Minnesota, Washington, Kansas City. Outside of Washington, it's not very impressive. But, then he has the data points with Washington, where he had a great pitching out performance, and then the Dodgers, where he went 5 innings, 2 hits, no earned. It's just hard to imagine a kid with his profile maintains a 2.88 xERA. His fastball run value is in the 50th percentile. Fastball velo is only 93 miles an hour. His ground ball rate's in the bottom 2 percentile. His hard hit rate plus barrel rate is below average. Like, eventually he's going to get got. It's just a matter of time. And I think that time might be now. And if it's not now, I still think Roop could post a quality performance. Roop is a pitcher I talk about all the time. There's a lot of things that I like, but there's only one red flag, and it's his fastball usage and the run value. Fastball usage 40%, the bottom 35th percentile in run value. So there is some problems with what Roop brings to the table. Like, this kid is elite. He's been elite in his 3 starts in July. He's coming off 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned in Kansas City with a high total. But he still has a ton of characteristics that I love to back. His curveball and changeup grade out in the top 10th percentile. It generates ground balls at a 52% clip. His hard hit rate is just 30%. That's the top 5th percentile. He throws sinkers at a 36% clip in the Brewers, bottom half of the league versus the sinker. Surprising. And even worse versus right-handed sinkers. So we got Roop versus Henderson. Now, I get Henderson has been good, but he's relatively unproven, man. The first 5 market is much more reasonable as it relates to price. First 5 ranges between plus 110 and plus 120. The full game between plus 125 and plus 135 tells me the first 5 is definitely the way to be moving on the Giants in this spot. We have a favorable market. I look at the starting pitchup matchup. I view that as being very favorable, and the Brewers' offense just hasn't been right the past few weeks. This has got to be a bet on the Giants' first 5 money line, and I split it up, money line plus a half. I will say that the Brewers have been elite. What are the Brewers? What's the Brewers record after a loss? The Milwaukee Brewers after a loss, 22-17, 56%. I thought they were better. Awful loss. Thomas Maggio, run line, money line is too expensive. Okay, thank you, brother. Thomas Maggio, are you on the Brewers here? Last game on the card, and it is the Dodgers-Mariners. One of the games I don't have a lot of action on at the moment. Let's see if we got a market that's changing, and it is up to minus 205. God damn it. Maybe I should just let this game go, to be honest. I've been so unsuccessful betting the Dodgers and betting Dodgers games in general that this looks unappealing to me. I will say that with this line movement, the market profile that I have prepared here for you is no longer in existence. So we're looking at all the cash coming in the Dodgers. We're looking at the Dodgers. They're up to minus. Right now you're seeing on screen, they open minus 192. I got them opening minus 189, and they're up to minus 244. It's a massive move, and it definitely changes the structure. And I look at Robleski on the mound. If I like to back anybody on the Dodgers, it's Robleski. 101 whip, 410 xERA, extremely consistent. A resume that upgrades Robleski to pro-tier status, in my opinion. He went into Sacktown and pitched 7 innings with a 1 whip, 3 earned runs. Goes into Minnesota when they were destroying left-handed pitching at the time. 7 innings, 1 whip, 2 earned runs. He's a 2-pitch pitcher, but he has 5 in his back pocket that he can keep hitters off balance with. His fastball run value is in the 99th percentile. And he can throw the slider. The slider is dirty, and he can throw it for a strike when he's ahead in the count or when he's behind in the count. And he can throw a slider for a ball when he's behind in the count. But there's a lot of things you should like about Robleski. You look at the Seattle Mariners, usually they're good against right-handed pitching, but they've actually been uptrending against left-handed pitching. The smallest sample size in the MLB, though, 10 since July 1st, 13 since June 1st, 26 on the season. Castillo's on the other side, and how can I make a case to back Castillo? Man, it's hard to trust him. And it's hard to trust Castillo on one side, and it's hard to trust the Dodgers on the other side. So I don't know what I'm going to do in this spot, but I would be leaning based on this most recent San Diego LAD. I might not be able to fade it. It's a square parlay, but goddamn it must be bet. That's one thing. It's 5 o'clock right now. We're about to wrap this show up. But last thing, I just want to see what this does to the market change. Let's go between 260 and 230. Home team price between minus 260 and minus 230. Line moving towards the home team. And we got to look at this total because this is a fairly high total. Let's go 9.5. Let's get a really tight range here. 29 and 15 straight up, 23 and 21 on the run line. Not very good. Now let's look at this big move. That's where it's going to come in here. It does increase it to 67, 56% non-conference. The high totals definitely might be enough to keep me off, but I would lean the Dodgers. I wouldn't be betting the Mariners in the state. I might be rocking with you, Bogey Boy. But that's going to wrap it up for us today at Pub Sports Radio for the closing line. And as always, I appreciate you guys supporting me, supporting Pub Sports Radio in the chat. It's always a blessing to be up here. Josh Witt, prayers to you. Prayers to everybody in this chat. Good luck with your action today. I'll be here every Tuesday and Thursday. So I'll be here on Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern, to represent Pub Sports Radio and bring the goods. Been sitting, grinding my ass off since 5 a.m., trying to get to the bag. Now it's time to watch our investments flourish. Good capping, good luck, and I'll see your ass on Thursday. Peace.
It's easier to sleep in the black when you're losing your ass and feeling so. You know what to do. Tune in to Pub Sports Radio. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's a roller coaster ride, you're gonna catch a bad beat. No problem, keep your head up and just bet the spreadsheet. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. All thanks to Jeff Slaughter, these shows have our backs. POD's always rolling, especially the stats. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. We got Jimmy, Jose, Dabby and the fam, Dutch wine time, Spooner and OG Wham. So hit the like button, don't say that you can't. If you know what's best, just put your money on tape.